Hi, how you doing today? I'm your host, Rich, and we have a Rich TV Live, and I'm here with our very special guest, Chris Donaldson. How you doing today, Chris?
Hi, Rich. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Fantastic. I'm excited to have you on the show. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your background in exploration and mining.
Yeah, thanks. I've been in the public and private capital space for about 25 years. The last 10 years, I was with a company called Western Copper and Gold, which has a very large copper gold project up in the Yukon. I was director of corporate development for them. Just as I was leaving, we brought in Rio Tinto as a strategic investor. Real good success with that company. And then I got a chance to join up with Craig Perry that many of your viewers may know. And I joined up with him and his Invented Capital team and started Outback Goldfields. So my first gig as a CEO, and I guess it's been about 1 year now.
Congratulations on your 1 year. And we love gold stocks here, especially early stage gold stocks. You guys can see the symbol here, OZ in Canada, OZBKF in America, and they are also listed in Frankfurt, Germany for our European investors. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your current assets?
Sure. So we acquired 4 properties in and around the Fosterville mine in the historic Victorian goldfields. The Fosterville mine, of course, many of you may know, made a discovery about 6 years ago, and they found something called the Swan Zone, and made them the highest grade, highest margin mine in the world. So, once that happened, there's been a staking rush, and their second gold rush that's gone on. We were fortunate enough to get these assets last year, but from a group that had acquired them about 5 years ago and had the foresight to see what was happening in the staking rush there. And so we were able to acquire these, and now we're working them. I think we've done some exploration on 3 of the 4 properties and are in full swing right now.
Wow. And why would you say these locations are the most interesting for the company?
Yeah, so I mean, we and I've said this before. We have a bit of a criteria, when selecting assets, and what's the size of the prize, what's the cost of the test, and what's the chance of success. And in this case, the size of the prize is a Fosterville style. It's as good as you get. So we're definitely elephant hunting for what we're looking for here. The cost of the test, I mean, it's a mining jurisdiction. It goes back to the 1850s when the first gold rush occurred, and they had tremendous success and made Australia the richest country in the world. And then the chance of success, well, if you're going to look for gold, a good place to start is where there's already a lot of gold, and we're right next to a number of historic mines and also producing mines. The story of the Victorian goldfields is they, back in the 1850s, they mined at or near surface and then stopped because they hit cover, and they didn't have the technology to go below. So they've mined 80 million ounces of gold in the district, and the geologists now believe there's another 80 million ounces yet to be discovered below that cover. So that's what sparked the second gold rush.
Now, we love to understand the catalysts that are coming. That's why we love to do these interviews with CEOs, and our community loves to kind of understand what's happening next. So what are some of the upcoming milestones for Outback Gold that will possibly get investors excited?
Well, yeah, it's I think it's a good time. It's certainly been a tough summer, and that's put some pressure on our share price. And it was tough only because in June I was, all ramped up and put out an announcement that we were starting our program. And Victoria had a very, very hard lockdown that came out about two days later. So, for instance, we weren't even able to get our drill that was planned to come to site because the drill wasn't allowed to cross state lines. So, it's been a tough summer in the junior equities, and we also didn't have news flow. But we're drilling now and kind of now doing the program that we had planned in June. Have cash in the bank and a lot of news flow, to come here.
Now, gold prices had gone up really nicely previous to 2021. They were on a serious run, and in the beginning of 2021, they were also very strong. But they've kind of flattened out over the remaining part of 2021. Where do you see prices going in 2022 with all the talk of inflation happening?
Yeah, I mean, well, you hit it on that head there. I mean, with the amount of money that's being printed around the world, eventually, it's going to have an impact on the various currencies, and historically, people start coming into gold at that time. So, yeah, I mean, we hit 2,000, I guess, a year and a half or so ago, and then have pulled back to kind of the 1,800 range, and there's been a lot of consolidation there. It certainly won't be a straight line, but all signs are pointing that it's going to go up. I wouldn't be surprised to see $2,000 gold here in the next few months. And personally, I think that's the hurdle mark that really gets investors interested. We saw it last time when generalists started pouring into the market when it hit about $2,000 gold. And I think it's coming, or I know it's coming at some point here, and I think it's sooner than most people think.
I agree with you. I think it's coming as well. We saw 2000 before. We're in pretty much an everything bull market. Bitcoin's exploding, stocks are exploding, all-time highs all across the board. And the only thing that, and even oil, and the only thing that's really lagging is gold. So I believe that gold will have their time, and it's coming, and it's coming soon, which really means that this is a great buying opportunity for investors at these levels. And we've been talking about it with Barrick Gold near 52-week lows, Kinross Gold near 52-week lows. We've actually been identifying great buying opportunities in the gold sector. And with a small cap gold company like yourselves, this might be the perfect time for investors to start really looking into this opportunity. Now, in saying that, what sets you guys apart from your competition in the sector?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're early stage junior mining, so it's high risk but high reward. And but we think we've minimized the risks as best as we can by being in the top jurisdiction in the world right now, by being surrounded by majors. I mean, one of our properties actually touches Fosterville and Kirkland Lake, which is now Agnico Eagle. On one side, it touches Newmont Gold. On the other side, they like the area and they came in as well. But probably we're well capitalized, and probably our best separator is the team that we put together. So our chairman, Craig Perry, many of your viewers might know from his successes as well. So he's the chairman of Skeena Resources, ISO Energy was a founder of, and NextGen, Vizsla Silver. Several of those are billion plus companies, and they all started out fairly humbly, in kind of our stage as well, and he was able to grow them. Part of that is he's got a great following of investors behind him. We were able to raise $11 million last year, non-brokered. A lot of that was because of his following. Some of that was, I hope, was kind of because of mine. But we do have a great backing and infrastructure here. We've put together, I'm not a geologist, but we've put together a team both in Australia and in Vancouver, which is packed with great experience in the gold fields and with our geologists. And now it's just a matter of executing. So our program is just starting. We have enough money to get us through the year and beyond. And we should have some steady news flow, which is key for junior mining companies here. And we think we have some very high tenor targets here to go after.
Now, you touch base a little bit about your team. I'd love to know a little bit more. Can you talk a little bit about your key individuals and what each of them brings as far as experience in mining and capital markets?
Yeah, I mean, Craig would be at the top of that list. He's 25 years in the business, and he was 10 years with Rio. Beforehand, I listed all the companies that he's now grown. Beforehand, he's the one who had he had people asking him to take over these projects and list them on a Canadian or North American market. And which is what he has done here. So he's certainly key to putting the deal together and helping push it forward. One of the challenge with the COVID lockdown is I'm based in Vancouver and I can't get down there. So we were fortunate enough to retain the geologists that purchase these properties, who's been working them for the last 5 years, 25-year geologist down there. So he's put together a team. We pulled in the former exploration manager for the Ballarat mine, which is adjacent to our property. It's an active mine now. He actually lives on one of the tenements. And then probably key for me up in Vancouver Vancouver is a guy named Chris Leslie who did his PhD in codes in Tasmania and has worked extensively in the Victorian goldfields. He is from Vancouver and came home a couple of years ago because of COVID, and he's helping coordinate things from up here.
Fantastic. Now, here at Rich TV Live, we really are fundamental traders. We love to understand the share structure, fundamentals, the cash on hand, debt to equity ratio, debts, if there's none, that's even better. Can you talk us through your current share structure, how much is held by insiders, and what you will be doing to attract more institutional investment alongside more retail investors?
Yeah, so I mean, we have just under 60 million shares that are out, so fairly tightly held. Insiders have a little over 10%. That number is growing. Both the chairman and myself have been in the market buying this week, and of course that's all public information as well. So that's our share structure. We raised $11 million last year. Last reported amount was about $8 million in the bank. So we're in good shape there. You know, at our stage, it's never prudent for a junior mining company without revenues to go into debt. So we don't have any debt on that. Right. So that's where we are right now. So we're in good shape on that side. I would say our shareholder base we've got 40% out of Australia, and the balance is in North America, Vancouver, Toronto, and a little bit in the States. What am I doing for the retail investors? Well, it's a bit of a function of news flow, and I'm just now starting to get out there as we have planned to we should have news every 2-3 weeks or so for the next 8 to 10 months. So certainly doing that and doing the various conferences and so on. In terms of in attracting institutions, at our size, these institutions like to write much bigger checks. So I have certainly talked with a number of them, and they want to see some results. So that's kind of would be the next leg up. I need to make a discovery here, and then I think we'll get those types of groups coming in. And a good example of that is a company called E79 Resources, very similar to us. We came out about the same time. They had one extremely good intercept, and they went up about 10x, and then we were able to get an investment immediately from Sprott, and then they topped up on top of that. So we're in good position. It's just a function of us executing and finding some gold.
Chris, we've got shareholders that are going to be watching this video from all over the world, and investors that are going to be looking at this company specifically. What would be the best way for them to get in contact with you or the company if they have any questions?
Yeah, happy for anybody to reach out, info@outbackgoldfields.com. We're actually quite active on Twitter as well, so it's outback_GF. Or you can even call me directly. I'm happy to do it the old-fashioned way and just pick up the phone and call, and the number there is 604-900-3450.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Chris. And I must let everybody know that Rich TV Live is strictly for information and education purposes. Please do your due diligence, do your research before you invest in anything that we talk about or discuss here on Rich TV Live. In saying that, this is a company that is well capitalized, with a tight share structure, that is now drilling, that is still with a very baby market cap. So I think this is a company that is undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed. Put on your watch list, put on your radar. We bring you the winners, and we bring them to you first. Thank you so much for your time today. The CEO of Outback Goldfields, Chris Donaldson.
Thanks, Rich. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Love to have you back on the show if you have any big breaking news, anything you want to talk about, anything you just want to discuss. Love to invite you back on the show. Thank you so much for your time. And for all of you guys that are watching at home, thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.